The loud narcissist you can see coming. The covert one hands you the knife and convinces you that you're holding it wrong. There is no shouting, no grand entrance, nothing you could describe to a friend without sounding unreasonable. Just a sigh at the wrong moment. A door closed a little too quietly. A silence that outlasts the argument by 3 days. And somewhere in the middle of it, you stopped being the person who was hurt and became the person who has to apologize. You have felt this. You just never had a name for it. I'm going to show you the quiet one. The version of this pattern that never raises its voice and does more damage because of it. What researchers actually mean by vulnerable narcissism and why it looks nothing like the version you've seen on screen. 3 moves you will recognize before I finish describing them. And then the part that matters most, how to hold your own account of events while someone is quietly rewriting it. Stay to the end, because I'm also going to tell you when this word does not apply. That part matters more than the label does. Start with the research, because the popular version is wrong. Psychologists studying narcissism keep finding not one pattern, but 2. The first is grandiose, exaggerated self-worth, superiority, arrogance, a hunger for admiration. That's the one you've been shown. The second is called vulnerable, or hypersensitive. The same self-absorption, the same quiet entitlement, but it arrives in the opposite costume. Self-conscious, defensive, easily wounded, withdrawn. Grandiose narcissism tracks with extroversion. Vulnerable narcissism tracks with introversion and with a far higher baseline of anxiety and hurt. And here is what trips everyone up. On standard measures, in ordinary populations, those two barely correlate at all. A test built to catch the loud one walks straight past the quiet one. So does almost everyone in that person's life. So what does the quiet one actually do? The first move is injury used as instruction. It isn't an accusation. An accusation could be answered. It's a sigh. A long pause on the phone. A quiet, "It's fine," delivered in a tone that makes it perfectly clear that nothing is fine. Nothing has been claimed, so there is nothing you can dispute. But the room has changed, and everyone in it now knows their job. Find out what's wrong. Fix it. That's the elegance of it. A demand made as a wound cannot be refused, because refusing a wound makes you the cruel one. You are not being ordered. You are being recruited by your own decency. The second move is withdrawal used as punishment. The silent treatment. Not a cooling off period. An instrument. Hours, days, sometimes weeks of nothing, ending only when you've paid a price that was never once stated out loud. And it works on you underneath argument. When researchers put people through deliberate social exclusion in the laboratory, they found that being ignored engaged brain regions also involved in processing physical pain. Scientists still debate exactly what that overlap means, but you don't need the neuroscience to know the experience. Being shut out genuinely hurts, and a person who has noticed that it hurts you has found something they can use without ever raising their voice. Silence can't be quoted back to them. That is precisely why it's the weapon. The third move is the ledger. There's a related pattern researchers call communal narcissism, where the grandiosity doesn't attach to being the smartest or the strongest, but to being the best person, the most giving, the most loyal, the one who does everything for everyone. In the research, people high in this trait endorse statements like, "I am the most helpful person I know." The self-image is saintly. The behavior is accounting. Every sacrifice is logged. Nothing is ever quite even. And the balance always gets presented at the precise moment you try to ask for something. After everything I've done for you, real generosity forgets. This one keeps a ledger and hands it to you as a bill. Now the turn, the part you can't unsee. Look at the 3 moves together, the sigh, the silence, the ledger. Notice what none of them are. None of them are attacks. Every one of them is a claim to be the injured party, made continuously, made in advance so that the injured position is already occupied before you ever get near it. So when you finally raise something reasonably, quietly, after months of carrying it, you are not opening a conversation. You are attacking a victim, and it flips. Within minutes, you're the one explaining. You're the one apologizing. You walked in with a grievance and walked out with a debt. That confusion you feel afterward is not evidence that you're unstable. The confusion is the product. It's what the pattern manufactures. And now the part most videos in this genre will never tell you. Covert narcissist is not a diagnosis. It is not a category in the diagnostic manual. It's a research description of a cluster of traits, and the manual's own criteria for narcissistic personality disorder lean heavily toward the loud version, which means nobody watching this is qualified to diagnose anyone. That includes you, and it includes me. More than that, most quiet people are not this. Most sensitive people are not this. Most people who sigh are simply tired. Sensitivity is not a symptom. What you're learning to identify is not a person. It's a pattern, repeated, directional, and always resolving in the same person's favor. Diagnosing your ex costs you accuracy. Naming a pattern gives you your footing back. So how do you hold your ground? 3 moves. 1, write it down, not to build a case, to keep a record that can't be revised. A pattern that exists only in memory can be edited, and you will be the one editing it. Dates and sentences on a page cannot be sighed away. 2, answer the words, not the weather. If nothing has been said, nothing has been asked. Let me know when you want to talk about it is a complete sentence. You are not obligated to interrogate a silence. 3, refuse the ledger. Generosity extended on credit was never generosity. It was an invoice with a delay. You can be genuinely grateful for what someone did and still decline the debt they invented from it. And underneath all 3, keep one outside person. This whole pattern depends on you having no second opinion. That's the quiet one. The sigh, the silence, the ledger, and a confusion that was never yours to carry. But there's a harder question sitting underneath this one. Not why they do it. Why it worked on you, for as long as it did. What made you the one who kept apologizing? That isn't a flaw, that's a profile. And that's the next case. I'm Professor Cole. Tell me in the comments which of the 3 you recognized first. And if you'd rather see the pattern than survive it, subscribe. I'll read the next one with you.